Hello, and welcome to Richardson ISD's On Point, where today we're doing a very special edition of our Take 5 feature. We are talking with Craig Sandy from Heights Elementary and Jessica Orozco from Forest Meadow Junior High, and they are RISD's newest Teachers of the Year. Welcome, you guys. Thank you for sitting down with me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's start at the beginning. Tell us all how you guys decided to become teachers.
Well, I decided to become a teacher in college, obviously, when you kind of have to decide what you need to do. But it started when I was in high school. I would help my brother train for basketball in his off season, and just seeing physical growth and seeing him improve in his skills was very motivating to me. I love seeing people grow and seeing people change, so I love having that impact. Also, my mom is a PE teacher, and so I kind of grew up in that environment, seeing her be able to impact a bunch of kids. They all loved her. So when I got to college, I had to decide what I needed to do, and I always loved fitness, always loved exercise since I was a teenager, and so I kind of had that moment where I was like, well, I think I want to do exercise science. So looking at my majors, I also realized, okay, well, I also would love to teach also. I really kind of have this passion for seeing people grow and improve. So it just kind of naturally happened where I became a kinesiology major at A&M with a teaching certificate, and then the rest is history from there.
Awesome. Jessica, what about you?
Well, I started out as a young girl who was just in love with the idea of becoming a teacher, and just as a little one playing in the park, we made fake rosters and fake grade books and did homework for no reason, and all these things that I really don't look forward to now. My friend Jenna and I, we both did that, and now we're both teachers, which is kind of fun. And actually, in high school, I had a teacher named Miss Hodgkinson who taught English. And she just really inspired me. Once I met her, I knew that teaching was for me, and I knew that I wanted to be what she was for me, for other people. And so she actually, it felt like she was teaching just you, even though you're in a room full of kids. And we keep in touch today, and she still supports any kind of like mission work that I do, or any kind of journey that I walk through. I look to her as a mentor to this day. And I thought that I wanted to be an English teacher like her, and so I just pursued that path. And in college, my first day of Spanish class was required as an English major, and my first day I met Miss Zarzosa, and she was just crazy. She was loud and up and about the room and speaking complete Spanish to a bunch of people who weren't ready for that, and she was just on fire and passionate about the language and about teaching. And that day I left that very first class and physically bumped into the dean around the corner and asked him where I should go to change my courses, and he said follow me, and got me in and put me in all these courses that were already closed, and just kind of paved the way for my future, and changed everything. So after calling my boyfriend at the time, my husband now, I called him and said, I think I want to major in Spanish, and he just really encouraged me to go for it. Bumped into that dean and really just changed my path. And so now as I'm teaching Spanish, it's just this exciting way to expose the kids to new culture, and I just really enjoy teaching them the music and the dance and the like all the different crafts and the things like that, and taking them on like little virtual tours of different places. So I love teaching. So
very cool. So take us to the moment where you all found out that you were the Teachers of the Year. Tell us where you were, how you felt. Give us your reaction.
Okay, so for me it was very awkward because first of all, we were at this reception for Star Teacher, and it's just an honor being there anyways with all these awesome teachers, and everybody's being super nice. And next thing, Dr. Stone announces, oh, we have a top 2, and I'm like, oh, well, that's awesome, And next thing you know, she announces Jessica's name, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome for her. And I was excited for her, and the next thing you know, they announce my name, and then I'm kind of thrown off, and everybody that came with me, my principal and my fiance, they're just looking at me like, hey, you just got Teacher of the Year, and I'm not really understanding. So I go over, they give me this check, I'm shaking hands, and so it was kind of awkward, and I think they didn't think I was excited, and my principal was trying to tell them, yeah, he's really excited, he really is. He just doesn't, I don't think he understands what's happening. And just like we talked about that day, like we have balloons and stuff, and was very, took me off guard for sure. But then later on, you know, it sinks in, and you're just so honored to have such a, you know, have people believe in you and think that you're doing something awesome in the classroom. So.
Yeah, I'll add to that. Same experience. I think we looked at each other and at our principals and just thought, okay, you know, what does that mean for us? And you know, exactly. We were just, I think, so grateful, and I felt so humbled by it, and so much like, really, like kind of like you just kind of sink your shoulders, like, oh, guys, like, wow, you know, and just super grateful. And then as we talked more about it with, you know, our loved ones and our schools and our principals, we realized what an incredible honor and journey it would be. And, you know, just the excitement grew from there. You know, we talked about how we both left with balloons and like putting those in the trunk and thinking, what just happened? You know, and so it's been a beautiful journey, and we've had the chance to really speak about ourselves as teachers, which is a really neat opportunity. So.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, we've touched on this a little bit about Richardson ISD and how you arrived here. Talk a little bit about what makes RISD special for you and why you return year after year.
For me, Richardson, just even as a city, has a lot of community, and I really like that about it. I like the character. I like the, you know, just overall, since I arrived here at Heights, you know, everybody's been so open arms, family environment, and I feel like it's a lot of people that support each other. So I think initially that's what it is. It's just kind of a unique city in itself. You know, I didn't grow up here, and I'm really glad I ended up here. It's strange, like growing up in Allen, I'm pretty close to Richardson, but I didn't really understand it as a city. I knew where it was, but just kind of seeing the community that surrounds it kind of makes it a special place for me.
Definitely. I would agree. I just kind of researched different, you know, areas, and fell in love with Richardson, and it is a big city. I mean, it's a city community, and I wouldn't have thought to put it like that, but you're right. It's not just in the schools; it's everywhere, and particularly in our schools, we found that the open arm, you know, relationship, and we found that we have support from all angles. Like just having this award in general shows that they really value their teachers, and and that they take the time to do, I mean, all these special things they've done for us, like showered us with just incredible honors and sweet things. I mean, whenever they came with the prize patrol thing, they had my students line, Miss Jones, I think, was behind this, but all the students lined the hallways on either side, like, I don't know, 800 kids all in the hallways, and they just walked me around the school, and it was this beautiful moment of just like, oh my goodness, like the support is unreal in Richardson, and the things that they do to make you feel appreciated are just like incredible. It's just shocking what they'll do to reward you or to make you feel appreciated. So
very cool. Is there anything that you'd like to leave with our viewers today? Just one final thought.
Well, I mean, for me, I feel like I get to have this awesome profession, not only being an educator, but I get to teach what I truly am passionate about, and that's fitness and nutrition. And, you know, whatever I learn for myself, I'm kind of the test dummy. I'm able to translate in a way to those kids. So I'm almost like teaching how I live my life. And in a way that's easy for them to understand. I feel like that is the key to improving as a teacher and being an efficient teacher, is how do I take really complicated things and make it easy for them to understand. I mean, especially at the elementary level, I'm not going to get too complicated, but I do want them to understand, hey, these are things I've experienced, these are things I'm learning, and I want them to always understand, you know, the importance of being physically healthy as a person. I mean, your health is your wealth. So to me, it's great that I get to teach what I live. So
cool.
And I guess what I would leave is just that I start the day in prayer every day, and I just pray that I would be a light to the kids, and that I would be what they need in that moment, and what they need to, you know, how they need to hear it, and what approach that they would need to see it in. And I just trust that the things that I'm doing and saying are conveying the point, and I think it's beautiful that you like teach through how you learned it. And so I think as teachers, we just have to think, how is this going to be conveyed? How are they going to receive it? And then just keep trying. So if they don't, you know, you just go at it from a different angle and keep being their teacher, you know, see them grow. So
Excellent. Well, thank you both so much for your time today. Thank you for being with us for Richardson ISD's On Point. Our Teachers of the Year, Craig Sandy and Jessica Orozco, will go on to compete at the regional level against 79 other school districts' Teachers of the Year.